and we're gonna roll.
Yes.
In 10, 9, 8,
I don't
7,
support this.
6,
I wanna sing
5,
like that.
4, 3, 2.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Away with Words, the podcast. It's your girl, Bree Stories.
It's A Tati.
And it's MJM Kid.
And we have a guest.
We have a guest.
We are here with our good friend, Jay Glass.
Woo!
Give it up for Jay Glass.
What's up, brother?
Happy to have
You
you.
gotta clap for yourself.
Yeah.
You
All the time.
absolutely. Every day.
Y'all
Every
are
day.
empowering me right now. I like this.
Wow.
Already.
This is
Yeah.
great.
2
No,
seconds.
wow, you never heard that before. Wow.
Stop it. I like when everybody says it.
That's what I'm all about. That's what I'm all about.
Empowerment.
We are looking forward to this conversation. Before we get into it, yeah. You want to break some glass, or do you want to break some glass?
I like that. I like that. That's.
We're breaking glass this
breaking,
time.
Instead of breaking ice, let's break some glass.
Yeah, let's have something with
Something that
to
can
our
really
friend.
hurt us.
Yeah.
Tati.
Could really give us.
So,
Don't chill out. Today's November 28th, if that helps.
After Thanksgiving,
shoot.
are you full?
Yes, definitely. Stuffed.
Cheeseburgers.
what is your favorite leftover food to heat up the next day after Thanksgiving?
Okay.
What is the first thing when you wake up in the morning that you wake up like, oh, I got that mac and cheese in the refrigerator? Like, what's your go-to?
Honestly, the whole plate. I like to run the whole plate back the next morning. I want it all.
Want it. Yeah.
That's my answer. J Glass?
First of all, no microwave. We have to put it in the oven because I don't like,
Fancy
like I have
shit.
to put it in the oven.
Fancy.
You have patience.
You
Yeah,
sure do.
that's what it is.
That's what it
It's
is. It's the patience.
of it
Well,
all.
it's like I just wanted to taste a certain way in the oven. Kind of gives it a little different.
It
Yeah.
does.
Little bang. You feel me?
I do understand.
But I'd say like a little macaroni and a little stuffing with a lot of people. I didn't know black people didn't really like cranberry sauce like that.
That's not true.
No,
Yeah,
I like
not
it.
at all.
Okay.
Somehow we were all like,
We're on the
That's
same
crazy.
page. There's gonna be somebody
To
watching
me,
this like,
I don't
nah.
eat cranberry sauce, but everybody in my family does for
Yeah.
the most part.
But like I feel like a lot of people don't like it, so I feel like cranberry sauce on top of both of those, and you mix them joints. Fire. Tati.
Do you do Thanksgiving sandwiches? Does anybody
Nah,
here
fuck
do that?
no.
I have before.
I need the original joint from yesterday.
What's on a Thanksgiving sandwich?
Everything.
Before I can agree. So no, I don't. I was going to be like, yeah, I do, I think. But no, not if it's everything on it.
There's
No,
like
not
dressing,
everything.
turkey, cranberry sauce usually,
God damn.
and
And some bread, white bread.
yeah,
Right. With the
that's
toast.
nasty
Yeah,
to
man,
me.
that's
It
what
just
I'm saying.
seems
Oh,
like
it's
so
nasty.
mushy.
Now, what if it was on Hawaiian bread?
I don't care.
Well, you know niggas love
Or
Hawaiian
subbed.
bread. A sub?
Like a
sandwich?
crunchy, like a thicker.
Like a cheesy.
Like all fit in and like
about to
not
throw
fall
up.
out. Don't throw
She
up.
just want a cheeseburger. Leave her alone.
I think it's gross either way.
I wake up in the morning and I'm very excited to have my dressing, to have
That's
my
my
mac
girl.
and cheese, and my sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are
Look at
the
those colors. I
three.
can see those
Stars.
colors.
Yes, with the
Stars.
cranberry sauce on top of my
you go.
dressing.
Yeah.
But those are definitely what I'm most excited for.
Etoile?
Yeah, I'm kind of just these days doing the dressing and the greens, honestly.
I feel you.
That's just where I've been. I used to be a mac and cheese
That's a very sophisticated plate.
fanatic.
It
Yeah.
is.
The dressing and
Some
I used to like, me and my cousin
greens.
who's here used to like really fight for my mother's mac and cheese, but calming down on the dairy, so she can have it. She can have it.
I love dairy.
Yeah.
I just had.
Go ahead.
No, let's not.
Is there a thing that once a certain dish is gone that it ruins the whole
Yes.
Oh yeah,
all the leftovers?
dressing. When
Oh,
the dressing
yeah.
is gone,
When the dressing's
I'm like,
gone.
this is not Thanksgiving. This has nothing to do with the holiday no more.
Yeah.
I'll still eat it, obviously, but I'm gonna. It's like this is not the vibes anymore, any longer.
Cranberry sauce?
What?
Honestly,
Wait.
because I just need
I
it
said,
on.
wait.
No. Like,
I said what?
it's cranberry sauce because I need it on top of like I really do get upset. You know what I'm saying? Because I want it to like it kind of brings everything together.
So if you don't have any more cranberry sauce, then you don't want to keep eating
The thing is, I'm not huge on leftovers anyway.
Same.
So it's like it's like this yesterday.
I literally just need one day or two, maybe
Maybe
two.
a day and a half, like a day.
day and a
So
half.
I'm referring. Well, yeah, no, you're right. Keep going. You got it.
No, go ahead. Say what you. 'cause
No,
I'm
you got it
interested
right.
now. So
no,
what's
that
up?
makes sense. No.
Okay.
You're right.
Yeah, no.
But so once the cranberry, right? Because this isn't the day after. This is some days after. So once the cranberry sauce is
That's a
gone,
lot.
not the first
What?
day after.
How many
Right, I'm
days do you
saying
eat the
It's
the
tomorrow or it's over with. Because after that, it's about done.
thing? Really?
I can give it 2. I can give it 2.
No, I'm definitely eating it 2 days. I'm probably gonna eat it 3
'Cause
days.
I don't want 3.
When do y'all do
So
Friendsgiving?
here's the thing. I'm eating it till it's gone. And 5 days is my max. Like 5 is like
5
you're
is
like if I
exhausting.
have enough food left at day 5, I'm gonna be very upset because then I'm inevitably I have to throw this out. But yeah, I'm going till it's gone.
I'm
For the most part.
eating as long as
It's
my
there.
star components are still there. Now,
Yeah.
once because
Says
certain
Denzel
things
Washington,
always
Halle
start
Berry.
leaving. So
The starting 5. The starting
yeah,
3.
like
Yeah.
the dressing, like you said, like
Yeah,
if
the
the dressing
dressing has
is
to be
gone, that's
there.
always the first gut punch. Like
This is not the
dressing's
thing no
gone.
more.
You
Yeah.
know, but then like
Not
the
that.
meat will start being gone, or like once too many components are missing, and now it's only all we got is mac and cheese in there,
Yeah,
or something
yeah,
like.
yeah.
That's when
I fuck with just a plate of mac and
That's
No,
cheese.
you can't do that.
I
Now, I
do.
can eat a plate of mac and cheese if there are still sweet potatoes, but that's usually another thing that's gone.
Yeah, that
is
goes
gone
fast.
quickly.
That goes
Fast.
so
quicker than anything.
I want
Yeah.
that to be
My
gone.
house.
What's the like?
Who are you beefing with?
I want that
About,
to be gone.
I want it to be gone.
Yeah. What's
And
the,
then you dared us. You dared us to fight
So
you
somebody
about it.
say something.
What's
we
wrong
gonna
with
put up
you?
with something else to get yams. Like, nah, you got it, bro. You're right.
What's wrong?
Yums.
Okay, we gotta keep it.
Let's
going.
do a rapid fire check-in.
Okay, perfect.
Rapido. Physically, I'm hungry. Emotionally, I'm joyous. My attention is currently on gumbo. And spiritually, I'm feeling blessed.
Okay. Physically, I am hungry.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I am joyous as well.
Per.
My attention is on food. And
Yeah.
spiritually,
Just ad-libs.
I
It is. It's very ASAP
Yeah.
Ferg of you.
I love A$AP Ferg.
spiritually I am hungry as well.
Can we do an episode where we
Talk about food. No.
yeah, that too. Well, and also yes, actually yes.
I'm all for
Both
it.
yes. Yes.
But also I want to do an episode where we speculate how good certain celebrities are sexually.
That would be such a good episode.
I think it would be really
Wow, I can't wait for that one.
Okay.
Where did you
quick
get
check-in?
that idea? I thought it was gonna be.
I love where
connected
her
to
mind
food.
goes.
You said, next time, can we one day do it? I really thought it was gonna be food.
I'm so
related.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Is it me?
You got to be quicker than that.
Yes.
Physically, I'm hot. Emotionally, I'm joyous.
Yee.
My attention is on. I'm present.
Okay. Per.
And spiritually, I'm blessed too.
J Glass. Physically.
I think I'm hot too. Thanks to tequila.
Emotionally.
Emotionally, I'm actually really just excited.
Yeah.
We're just like, yeah, we love it so much.
Attention next
We like
Attention. What's your
Willow.
attention on?
on y'all. Like I
Oh,
love
yeah,
it.
you're
Like,
present,
I'm
too.
a fan for real. So like it's here.
I love it.
Love it.
And
boy.
spiritually,
Yes.
man, bro, that's a lot. I don't even know where to go with that one. So we just gonna say a lot.
Oh,
I feel like
love it.
21 Savage with that a lot.
yeah, wow.
Mhm.
Shout out 21.
It's a nice.
21.
Yeah.
Okay, so this week is an MJM Kid and J Glass production.
Yeah.
Yes.
My homeboy hit me
So I
up and
have
said he
no
had
idea what's
some things to
happening.
get off his chest, some things to discuss with the team, and I was like, yeah,
Some
like let's
thoughts.
do that.
Just some thoughts.
Yeah, and I really loved it, and so
Hit us with your thoughts. Let's talk about your
Yes,
thoughts.
thoughts.
And then let's talk about these thoughts.
yeah.
Oh.
that's
Just
it.
kidding. Just kidding. Talk about
Thoughts
just
and
kidding.
thoughts. That sounds like a name of a brunch. Thoughts and thoughts.
Ooh, that does
Or
sound
podcast.
fun.
Or
Yeah.
thoughty
Thoughts
thoughts.
and thoughts. That's
Thoughty thoughts.
definitely a podcast.
Actually, that
Don't
sounds
take our
very
ideas.
Tantalizing.
Yeah.
Got me acting hella thotty. Anyway, sorry.
So what I wanted to know from each one of you all is, what does dating you feel like?
Ooh.
I
Ooh.
want to start with Tati because I
Yeah, good. No
I feel
one's
like
talking
she
about
probably, you know what I'm
Tati.
saying, got
Yeah.
Talk about.
what's popping.
Okay.
I think dating me is a great time. I think that
Everyone's like, yeah.
I love how engaged we are.
think-
Everybody's engaged.
I think that if you are truly invested in me, it's a great time. I
Yeah.
think that when you come around a person, if you are only surface level or you're not really around for a genuine connection or interaction, then like you'll miss out on the good time. Like you weren't there long enough, you know, to like experience. But I think that getting to know me, talking to me, going out with me, hanging, I think I'm a vibe.
That's a
I
great
think I'm a
word.
great time. I think that I am a safe space.
Damn it,
I
Tati.
think that
I don't like when Tati goes first, actually.
Why?
Because she
I
takes
like
all
the
of my
safe space.
stuff.
No, yeah.
She takes all of my words. That's why.
Synergy.
Because they wasn't yours. But no, I think I'm a safe space. I think I've always been a sounding board, you know, for people to talk to and feel comfortable and express themselves. I don't think I'm very judgmental.
That's true.
And I'm very, though Bree Stories hates this word, I think I'm very loyal.
I like it
I'm
when it's in
very-
the right context.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like I'm
for
very
you,
loyal
yes.
to all the things, like even things that aren't like important. Like if it's
Yeah.
just something that I like I will fight. I will fight about
Can
it
you
to
be
the
an
death.
example of what that means? Something you like we trying to get the
Like
crowd,
Usher
you know?
or something, like a celebrity or something that I've always
Anything
been
she's a
obsessed
fan
with or something. Like that is never gonna change about me. It's never gonna waver.
That's a good, I mean, that's
It's
a good
never
thing.
gonna
It's not
fall.
like,
Yeah, but I just mean like even about smaller thing. It doesn't have to be a big important thing in the grand scheme of life.
Right.
It's just if I'm on that side, I'm on that side, and I'm not gonna change.
I like that.
It's not gonna change.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty solid.
Bow Wow.
Yeah.
What you loyal to?
She
No.
is. She is.
I'm loyal to his legacy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I think I am then, too.
Underrated.
Like
for
I'm
sure.
not like a huge like I fucking love Bow,
Yeah,
but
I'm
I'm
loyal to his
loyal to
legacy.
who he is and what he's accomplished.
What he
and the
has,
name
what he stands
sake.
for.
Yeah,
He's changed my life.
I'm
I'm
loyal
just
to.
kidding.
He's changed
A couple times, right? It's not just once. And that's how you know it's
I mean, I
different.
So, but it's never just one.
That was the first CD
Yeah,
I
for
bought.
sure.
Boy or Dog. Fun fact.
Love it. I want to talk about what I want dating me to feel like.
Oh, okay.
What I'm looking forward to dating me feeling like. And that for me, it feels like freedom. It
I like
feels like acceptance. It feels like wow, I didn't realize that I had this much room to like be and grow.
Yeah.
That's
Say
yeah.
that shit.
That's all I'm. Leave it at that.
Yeah.
It's also like warm and gushy.
Those are things
I
are
mean, those are
important.
like perfect things.
Those things are important.
The gumbo mix of these things are
Yes,
mixing
so
very
many
well.
things in there, right? That
Literally,
gumbo.
The gumbo.
Somehow just put it in there. What dating
God.
me feels like
go.
is I always look for y'all to help me because I think y'all are so much better at saying these things.
No, you're so good.
No, I know.
No.
Dating me feels like unexpected.
Oh,
They see one like a perception of me, and then they get in the space and they like, oh wow.
Yes.
It's like, okay, I didn't know you were, or if this energy was like this, and it's a positive thing. And I'm always like, oh, what, me?
Yes.
And I enjoy that. I think I'm I'm a safe space.
Yeah.
I'm very nurturing. I like to have a good time. I
Yeah.
don't want it to be so serious.
Yes.
I feel like dating can be like so like I gotta make sure I
Heavy.
look this way and
It's like
feel
talking
this
to
way.
your parents about
Yeah,
something.
it's just
No,
like
no.
no, like let's make this light. Like let's just.
I think dating you feels like
organic.
Disney.
Okay.
Like Disney.
Like
Exactly.
it's like it's bright and it's like always like you can go there and count on like this is gonna make me feel good. But there's also like depth to it.
It's-
you know, there's
yeah,
stories.
That's a word for it.
If your
There it
DMs don't go
is.
up after that, Your team was gonna go for Disney World.
Oh, his
Talk about
DMs are
Disney.
stacked.
Disney.
It's my favorite
It's
place.
it's like Disney overall.
Yeah,
you know, like
exactly.
it feels good, it's fun, it's warm, it's nostalgic, it's comforting, it's silly.
Yeah.
It's like all those good things, and then there's also like, oh wow, and then like if I'm feeling the way, I really need to talk about something. Like this is a safe space
'Cause
too.
Disney
Like
will break
it's
you down, too.
understood.
Disney
Yeah,
will-
that's what it
Disney-
is. For
Okay,
Michael.
perfect.
Love that.
I see why you said what you said before about like having them kind of explain. Because when she said, I was like, okay, that's a whole nother layer.
Because yeah, I had to say that out loud because as soon
Yeah.
as you started talking, I was like, I
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
But yeah,
No, it's funny because just going back to you, I feel like your engagement, like me, and like when we first met, engaging with you was like just dope as something. I didn't know what to expect, but
Aw,
I was like,
man.
"Oh, this is a dope situation." Like I'm, I'm
Wow.
engaging on a just regular basis. Like, all right,
And
I'm
I
here.
feel like that way too. Like when I met you, in a social setting too. Like when
Right,
other
right.
people were around. It sometimes when I feel like I meet people that have the same energy as me, I feel like I've known them for a long time.
yeah.
And so and that's
your
how I
birthday?
like to feel that. Huh?
When your birthday?
June 27th.
All right, okay.
I'm a
When's your
Cancer.
birthday?
Whew, you scared me. I'm a September 6th.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Virgo?
The Virgo world. I'm a Virgo rising.
that makes sense
that
then.
matters. Yeah.
Because our rising is how we present.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
even know what mine's. I don't.
It's
even,
okay.
Yeah,
It's
you're
okay.
right.
Um,
Not Disney World.
but yeah, like I feel like our energies matched, and so I feel
Love
like
that.
it was just a very like a natural interaction.
That is just stunning.
Can you answer that question too?
Yeah, please.
Yes, for sure. Engaging. I feel
Yeah.
like being around me, I'm very engaged. I want to know more about you. I want to like have an understanding of who you are. So I definitely rock with the safe space. You know what I mean? Like,
Safe.
I think my safe space come off in a way that is not, you know, it comes off as judgmental, but I'm never actually judging you. It's more like I just like to talk too much shit. So, like, I'm going to make
Virgo.
a joke. I'm going to make a comment on that, but it's
Yeah.
not like I'm trying to make you recluse into, oh, I'm not comfortable. It's more like, nah, you can say anything you want. You can, how do you feel? I want to understand so I can like get better with that. Like, just not even better, be more familiar with. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I feel like you're going to correct my wording if I say the
No,
wrong thing.
no,
No, because you corrected my
no.
letter earlier.
but for your benefit, right?
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry.
How he just described that made me think of Dana, because I feel like that's how I'm around Dana. Today.
Yep.
Shout out
She's
to
not
Dana.
judgmental, but
No.
like it's just she just want to get to a better understanding, and it's never like a
Correct.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
then
love that.
I'm very touchy. I'm very grabby. Like if I'm
Grabby.
not grabby
Look,
in a way
same.
like where if I'm with you, like
That's such a funny
What's
word.
driving
That's
the
such a
Yeah.
it can be taken so many ways.
that's a
Open
funny
that.
descriptor. I'm
I
very
bet
grabby.
I'll grab your ass up.
I appreciate
Yoke.
the opportunity to dive into that because it's more like if we're with each other, like come here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like be in here with me.
It's
Wherever
a way to
we-
connect.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
I love simple words.
Me too.
If we're together, come here.
That's exactly what I'm like. What are you even doing?
Not that hit you.
For real,
I
like,
love
that.
why are you even over there? Like you know we over here.
You
Why
man,
are
like
you
why are
even
you
over
why are you
there?
even over there?
What you
I
what are
love
you doing?
that.
Me
I
too.
love
Feel
that.
me? And then I say like just like I hope to, and this is to your point. I hope it's empowering. I hope it's I hope it's uplifting. You feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
And I don't think I always come off that way. I think my perspective on what people think of me is different from what I'm trying to give. You know, but I definitely try to like, hey, what do you want to do with what you got going on? So like if you told me something like I think you said on the last episode something about like sharing your creativity, and I'm like, okay, well how can we do that better? Like,
Right.
how can we work
Yeah.
towards
Right.
that?
How can I
How can
support
we-
you in doing that?
Exactly, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
but I do think some people take that away, where it's like, yo, you really kind of push me too hard, so I'm trying to get better at that. It's just like you tell me you want to do something, let's make it
Yeah.
happen. You feel me? Like,
Hold 'em to
how
it.
can we do that for each other? Because like, if I tell you I'm trying to do something, like, I need you to make sure I'm on track. Because
Yeah.
I probably have ADHD. Like, I have to do 20 different things at once.
Yeah.
So I need somebody like to help
Reel
me
it
stay
in.
in line. Yeah, and like make sure I'm on track of what we got going on.
I love what you said though about you having the awareness of just working on like not pushing a person.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really important. I've been talking about this a lot lately, but learning how to love people in their way,
Yep.
you know, and that's for everything. Support people in their way, listen to people in their way, like doing things that aren't necessarily the way that it works for you, but you coming out of yourself enough to really be there for that person. I love that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I try to do that, but I do think like, you know, it's a it's a fine line. You know, it's like breaking glass with it. You feel me? Like you literally are trying to do something in a way that person deems fit, but you're also trying to like make sure you're not losing yourself trying to appease
For
another
sure.
person.
For sure.
So it's definitely like something that can be difficult. Because I mean, y'all mentioned on the last episode like talking about like sexuality and stuff, like being like having more sex. Like I'm with y'all because like I feel like I did give that up at a certain point to a degree, but I've always been very sexual. You feel me? So it's like for me, it's like that. I've realized how important that was for me.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, cool. Now we gotta run that back. You feel me? Because you ever feel like you in a relationship with somebody, you dating somebody, and you feel like you just giving up so much of yourself that's maybe. He said,
hell yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Anything but hell yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like you feel like you're giving up so much of yourself to like do something that's like, all right, I'm all about like I'm all about compromise, but at the same time it's like, bro, like I can't let go of me to
For
where
sure.
a point where I'm not comfortable anymore to appease you.
But I think that the best relationships, and I think that so many people, I think that society puts on a lot of people this idea that to be in a relationship in at all is the goal, that we don't take the time to actually date people, because a real good relationship and real love brings you closer to yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not supposed to be that feeling of like, oh, damn, I'm losing myself trying to care about you. It's like, no, the more I love you, the more I love myself. The more we love each other, the closer we get as individuals to ourselves. Like that's
I feel like
what it's supposed to be.
I think those hard conversations that you have in a relationship are about finding out how a person wants to be loved or how they want you to show them affection. It's not meant to, if you find out that our two ways don't mesh, you know, I think people perceive like the breaking up or the separating ways as such a negative experience.
No, it's
you know,
good.
it's such a bad thing, or like you're giving up on me, or you never really cared, or I didn't try hard enough, you know, so I want to keep running this into the ground even though we've already established that we are on total opposite ends of the
We're
fence.
not
But it's
meant for
like
each other.
those conversations are there
Yes.
so that you can be like, oh, we're just not aligned, you know? And since I don't want to compromise myself, like I can't change who I am. If you tell me you have a problem, I'm going to try to fix it. You know, I'm going to try to teach you how to fix it. That is who I am. I can't change that about me, you know? So it's like, if you need the person that's going to be like, damn, babe, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You know, if
I'm
you
not that
need,
nigga
right,
at
that's
all.
not me.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would we continue down this path? When
That's
we can
why
just
dating
separate
is
and
so
separate
important.
without any animosity, you
Yes.
know, and it just be, it is what it
Yes.
is.
Yes.
There's nothing
I
bad
think we
here.
have like so much. Like you all said, like we start with so much attachment. You know, it's like you're my, like you kind of mentioned on the last thing, like you were saying, like when you have a childhood friend, and that's my friend. Well, as soon as we start talking, that's my nigga, that's my woman, that's whoever that is.
Yeah.
And it's like, hold on now, hold on now,
Right.
like bring it back, cause like what does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? And like, I do think like it's a difficult thing, because once you've invested so much in someone, you don't want to get, you feel like you're giving up a piece of you because you did give up a piece of you. Or I think we got to change the wording. Actually, I was more vulnerable with this person. I didn't give up anything. This is me all the time.
Yeah.
But I let you win. I was more vulnerable, and that's fine. That should be okay.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But we have that ownership piece of that. Well, if you all the time, next person you be with gonna be you still.
Yeah.
So you ain't really losing. Hopefully you gain some. Like if you with me, like, I don't care what happened after, you should have gained something from that.
Absolutely.
And if you didn't, I promise you it wasn't on me. And that sound real like arrogant, I guess.
No.
But it's like, nah, like, cause I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna feed you. Like, first of all, I do cook. Shout out to me. But I'm gonna feed you. Like, I'm gonna
like
feed
that.
like, what's that book used to be called in middle
Chicken
school?
soup.
Chicken soup for the soul.
She knew it immediately.
And I don't even like chicken soup, but I'm soup.
I think a good thing about, for like we discussed in the previous episode about being in our 30s, I think a thing that I brought into my relationships is trying to have the important conversations before you get to the point of I've invested so much.
Yes.
You know, I think that when I was younger, like I said, I would live in that uncertainty. You know, you could be like, I don't know how he feels on this topic, but I don't even want to talk about it, because it's kind of like, I don't want to know. I would rather live in the ignorance so that we can just keep doing what we're doing.
Because this is comfortable.
And then
we
at
like
some
each
point,
other.
though, it's all going to blow up. At some point, it's all going to blow up. So it's like, now,
You gotta keep that in mind.
Yeah.
now
But it's
in my
hard to,
30s,
like,
I
accept.
try to walk in the door making it known who I am.
Yep.
Who I am, how I am, the way I view things, how I feel about things. If you tell me something and it's not something I don't like, making it known.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't fuck with-
I don't fuck with that. So that
fuck with that.
we're learning, on date 2, 3, 4, 5, like, oh, we really
Can I ask you a
don't.
question though? You said like before, like, dating someone for a long period of time, right? And we talking about 2, 3, 4, 5, but what if it's month 3, 4, 5? You feel me? And y'all dating and
It shouldn't be.
Right,
It
I'm
shouldn't
saying,
be that far.
Is it you're talking about month 5 and we haven't had these conversations?
But it's something that you just like, because I feel like sometimes what happens is like some things just aren't top of mind and you experience it and something happens, you like.
Yeah. I mean, well, some things you can't avoid. Some things are life. Some things you don't have conversations about them until they come up.
Absolutely.
And
That's
then
what I'm saying,
you'll be
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
looking like, what? Like, I never knew that. I never would have thought. Some things you can't avoid. And then you do have the heart-wrenching kind of decision of being like, damn, I did just invest all this time. But
I
now
think
I'm
that's
learning
divine. I
that-
think that's one of those times where I believe in divine timing, and I believe that everything happens in the order that it's supposed to happen. And so in a case like that, I would take the fact that, like, if it felt like something that was a deal breaker for me and I don't find out until we about to move in together,
Yeah.
I would take that into consideration. Like, I would hope that I would be able to put my emotions aside enough to be like, there's a reason I didn't know this until now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
And so it means something, and I can take that information and say, like, okay, like, let me really assess this. Is this really a deal breaker?
Right.
And
Right.
am I
Right.
meant to really, like, give up on this beautiful thing that I've created with somebody because of this particular thing, or yes, is it still? What did this happen in this way to really show me how much of a deal breaker it really is, so that I never get in this situation?
That kind of goes into what he was saying, what you pitched to me about changing your mind.
Yeah.
Right? Is
'cause,
that where you were kind of going?
Because I think sometimes, like, I think the hard thing when you're dating or just in life in general, right?
Yeah.
And we experience this every day now, especially when we put out content. We even tweet something. If I say something in a more permanent environment with social media, it's like I may feel differently about this later.
Absolutely.
And I honestly, like, I have a really deep conversation about this where I feel like most people would, like, look at me like, what the fuck? But I do feel like, I can feel a way about this today and tomorrow I feel a whole different way. And like you're saying, like, if I have that deal breaker kind of scenario come in and, we've been together 3-4 years, but you're hitting every other thing. Like,
Yeah.
how much of, but then, I think sometimes you look at like, dang, but I was with this person, right? And they did that and I couldn't stand, like, we could take in somebody snoring. Somebody snoring, like, it could be like bro, I hate that shit. But then this other person, that shit kind of cute. That shit kind of
Interesting.
sexy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wake that up. So,
I think your gut doesn't lie to you, though. I think your gut doesn't lie to you. I think into some form of degree, when you first hear something or experience something, if it's a moment of, I still don't like this, I'm still against this, or if it's a moment of, I thought I didn't like this, but now
It doesn't
it's
bother
really
me.
not. It's like, and so it's like
how temporary is your gut? That could be a fleeting thing too, where you like, right now I love you so much, this don't matter, but 5 years from now you get on my fucking nerves because you still do that shit I hated 5 years ago.
Right, but what I'm saying, but your gut is the thing that told you 5 years ago that you didn't like it.
Right.
Right. So 5 years later, your gut, it's a situation of are you going to choose to
compromise
ignore your
somewhere.
gut? Your gut,
Right, you're
like,
right.
so it's like, if you choose to move forward, that's a personal decision on what you want to do. But your gut never lied to you on if this was a thing that you don't like. And so now, are you going to be in that cycle where 5 years from now, we argue about the same thing? Because I knew I didn't like it, but I loved you enough that I was like, I'm going to be with her anyways. But now we're just in this endless kind of loop where we fight about the same thing.
We always find that though. Like, it's always going to, especially at this big old age, like you said, we going into our 30s. Like, you're going to find something where your gut can, like, ew. You know what I mean? Like, throw up. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, and maybe this is my experience. I've always found one thing, two things maybe. But it's like, at the same time, like, how much am I depending on that to make a maybe more rational decision or more, like, decision of the heart than the mind than the gut? Because I feel like we have all three of those things. Like, we have that, I mean, and maybe as a man, I feel like you also have that sexuality thing, maybe your dick, you feel me? Like, that's a whole other piece. But it's like you have these things going on where your gut talk to you, but my heart talks to me, then my mind talks to me. How do I make a decision based off that? And I feel like when I'm with you, like there's going to be some varying experiences. Because like, so the whole thing with I want to have this conversation. What does dating you feel like? It's going to be different every day. It's going to be different every year, every month. Because I am going through something different. I'm experiencing something different.
Yeah, we
So
all
like,
change.
Yeah, so it's like we create this in our mind, this thing.
I kind of disagree with that in a way, because I think that a big misconception that people create about love and about dating and relationships is that it is emotion forward and that we are leading with this like feeling instead of leading with intention. Once you get to the point where you're in a relationship with someone, my intention is not for you being with me, like you said, like being with me feels like this. My intention is that won't change, because regardless of where I am, regardless in the ways that I shift and evolve, I am now committed to loving you in the way that you feel loved. And that is not a feeling thing. That is not I woke up feeling up to it or not. That is a commitment thing. It's an intention thing. It's a choice, you know? And I think that a lot of people don't think, or we don't romanticize that part of relationships, which is really all relationships are. Like, because you feel the things, you have the gushy, the chemistry and the stuff for, you know, at first, and then the whole rest of your relationship is creating that. And that comes from making decisions and talking and communicating and like doing all of this stuff that seems like really, you know, like mundane and like boring, but all you have are those things after a certain point, and you have to choose to regenerate those feelings, because those feelings, like if you just don't feel that way every day, like you're just
like,
not going to.
And kind of like you said, like your commitment to a person or into a relationship, into making a person happy, which ultimately should be making you happy as well.
Yes.
You know, is what, you know, continues. Like people always talk about how like a man will make time for what he wants to make time for. You know, like he can be the busiest, you know, man in the world, but if he wants you around him, or if he wants to spend time with you, it's what he's going to do. You know, it may not be, and not to just put it on like men, but it's like it may not just.
Thank you, I appreciate that so much.
In like a consistent everyday basis, because I might not have the time to be there every day, or it could be a thing where. Yeah, I talk to her. We talk on the phone every night, and we've been doing this for months. But then today, because I'm in a bad mood, maybe I didn't show up this time because something was wrong. But when I talk to you the next day, or when I reach out to you later, you're going to feel that my intention was never to just make you feel like I wasn't paying you attention, like I was trying to just leave you hanging, or like I was doing something else, or I went out. So that's why I didn't want to talk. You know, like you can feel a person's intent and moods, and having a down day or having a bad day, that doesn't change that.
And I think that comes from like the other person too. Like you have to like be understanding enough and like be patient enough to like, hey, whatever's going on right now is not what this person intends to be. So like, I mean, I think that's a different thing, because like people will say like, I feel differently day to day, right? Yeah. But you know, so I've really got this whole thought on Hinge. Right, Hinge it says, "What is dating you?" It's like a video, right? Or a photo. What does dating you look like, right? It's like this shit don't look like this every day, but I'm not finna change this picture every day. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like I'm finna like it's what it is. So I feel like you gotta, like you said, dating me intends to be like this. Is what it should say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? However, what it actually is gonna vary day to day, but always know what it intends to be this. And I think that's like having those open conversations in those safe spaces. You got to be able to be like, this what I want it to be. Where is it at today? Where am I today? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, you know, I think it's just a good thing to keep top of mind when especially if you're going through hard times with somebody you're dealing with and you really have good intentions for. It's like, and maybe we need to like reassess like what my intentions are versus how I feel about it right now in the moment.
Because I also don't subscribe to the notion of being in a relationship and you're being treated badly, or something isn't good, or the situation isn't, but thinking in your head like, but I know she's a good woman, or I know he's a good guy, so let me just try to ride this wave. And I don't agree with, you can have hard times, but hard times should not translate into treating me badly.
Exactly.
You know, that
Exactly.
I don't agree with that. Like, we can be going through a rough patch or something, but it should not be like, this nigga ain't gave me a hug in in 5 weeks. But I remember 2 months ago we was tight, so I'ma just
Stick it out.
hold out and see and
Yeah.
wait and see if things change. Like,
That's
no,
what I was gonna say, too.
I do still need your. I do, regardless to what is happening, you still have to remember that I am here and I am still a living and breathing thing, just like a plant or an animal.
Yeah.
Because you're having a bad day or because things are going wrong for you, you cannot just forget to water me.
You can't
Exactly.
You can't just, because
Exactly.
those things die.
Yep.
If you because you're having a bad day, forget to feed your dog or don't water your plants, when you come out of that depression, you're gonna be like, oh shit.
Right.
You know, like,
Everything
has anybody
fucked up.
seen the cat?
Or even like or even something even more day to day to that, like a job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you
you still gotta
the
go to
same way
work.
that you commit to going to work every day.
Still gotta pay your bills.
Regardless
You
of what
still-
you're
life doesn't
regardless of
stop.
what's going on, it's like we all have the capacity to do that or we don't. And I think that that's the part. Like, you have to be honest about that. Like, and that's why I think it's important early on in the dating process. And I think, to your point, Tati, what you were talking about of kind of settling into that uncertainty for a long space of time when it comes to dating, and especially women, you know. And I just finished a couple months ago reading this book called Attached about like the science behind different attachment styles and stuff like that. And being anxiously attached, you will refrain from having those in conversations up front because we've been brainwashed to believe that those conversations push people away. And it's like, okay, if I bring this up too soon, it'll be too soon for me to like ask. No, you need to bring that up ASAP. You need to bring up all of the things that matter to you, as far as like all of the questions that are going to reveal whether or not this person can love me in the way that I need to be loved, need to be talked about as early as possible, in my opinion. Because then we nip that in the bud. Because then I get to know up front, hopefully, you either can stick it out, like, oh, what does a bad day look like for you, and how does that reflect upon your partner, and is that something that I can deal with? Are your bad days something that is going to impede upon the way that I want to be loved, or are they going to be like, oh, okay, I can deal with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially as a person, like, I have major depression disorder, and who I am when I'm in a bout of depression is a totally different person, a completely different person, to myself and to others. So it's like, it is fair for the person who is dating me to know if I'm in that space, what I'm giving, is that impeding upon the way that you need to be loved? And if it is, then let's just not, you know?
I 100% agree with the whole, there's no such thing as too soon to bring something up.
For sure.
Not if it is important to you.
Yes.
If you are going, I had a friend that was dating someone, and the girl had brought up at some point wanting to like be together, like, let's be in a relationship. I want to be monogamous. I don't want you to see anybody else. And for him, it's kind of like, I've been talking to you for like 2 months or something. Like, he's like, what is this? And I was like, nothing about her saying that was crazy to me. To me, the craziness is getting your answer and then staying around,
kicking it,
and now we're fighting about this over and over and over again.
Yep.
I'm like, there's nothing wrong with if you go on one date and you on that date thinking like, yeah, I think I want to be with you. You know, if that is how you genuinely feel in your heart, there's nothing wrong with saying that. But you have to take your answer. Yeah. You have to take the answer, and then you have to move accordingly to that answer. You either have to decide, like, so now obviously we're together because you've agreed. Yes. Or you told me that's not what you want, and you either have to choose to proceed not having it and being okay with not having it, or leave it alone. Yeah. Beautiful. You know, and I think that's the part that people don't want to follow up on, is the now what am I gonna do that you've given me your answer,
right? And J Glass,
that's good.
I was gonna say, you've come up with all of these good prompts, but the people who are listening, like, tell them what you do. Tell them a little bit about how you come up with these ideas.
So for this specifically, again, I really got that idea from Hinge earlier this year, and my whole thing this year, I have a clothing brand called MEAQ. And the whole thing has been this year, the thing has been feeling. How do you feel about anything? How do you, it started with, I know a lot of black women therapists who have been talking to me about feelings and, you know, how you feel about stuff. So I really started with my first collection this year was all around how you feel. And so now I just kind of built that out, and this is my last collection of the year, where I wanted to know, like, what does dating you supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be an open-ended thing where it's ever-changing,
Yes.
it's evolving. And I think what I'm hearing right now is like, how do we get the intent behind that? You know what I mean? Like watering and like taking care of that and nourishing that intent along the way of like actually dating that person. So that's where the ideas come from.
Yeah.
Like I think I was talking to you all about earlier is like next year my idea. I'm glad you mentioned freedom, right? Because it's passion and freedom. For next year, it's like
I love that.
2023. Like that's something I feel like I've veered away from. My own personal passions, what makes me feel free. Well, this is what I want to address. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how can I be more passionate in the things that I'm doing and delivering to the world, and also feel more free, where I don't feel like I'm just trying to do it because, you know what I'm saying, Bree Stories doing, Tati doing,
Right.
MJM the Kid doing. Like, how can I feel free for me?
Yeah.
It's like, at the end of the day,
Yes.
I love what y'all doing. That's why I wanted to be here, and I appreciate y'all for having me. But at the same time, it's like, shit, this shit got to feel good for me or else it ain't going to work.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
exactly.
real.
Same thing with dating and stuff. It's like, that's why it led me there. It's like,
True.
this got to feel good for me or else.
Right.
What's
you know,
the point?
Yeah,
Or else
and
what's
I
the
want it to
point?
feel good for you too. Don't get me
course.
wrong. Like,
Of
you gotta
course.
feel real good. What you call it, gushy. You gotta feel gushy, please.
Somebody gotta feel gushy.
Like, just gotta like, you know, do what I gotta need to do for me, or else, you know, shit, we gotta, you know, if it's severing ties, if it's readdressing the situation,
Exactly.
it's like we have to figure it out.
And we got to be open to doing that. I think that's I understand, like, in our human hierarchies of needs and things like that, connection is really, really important. But I think that sometimes that knowing that means that we're afraid to address the relationships that we're in and do with them what needs to be done. But we have to understand that doing the right thing for those relationships, whether they are like reassessing what they look and feel like or getting rid of them altogether, is for the better benefit of our connection overall.
Right.
I love that. MJM Kid, anything?
I'm very just excited about this episode. I am just loving what everybody is saying.
You gotta call me beautiful before we go.
Oh.
So beautiful.
I love that.
Yes.
I know that we are pressed for time today.
Yeah.
J Glass, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just thank you.
Coming.
No, because
Please come back though.
Yeah,
Don't,
like,
you
bring us
you,
some-
Y'all gotta
you
make
really
sure
have
y'all
to.
come to
Bring
us
us some
and
yes.
So just
I
real
would
quick
love
plug.
Please
shameless.
do that.
We
do
want you
that.
to.
Make sure y'all follow us. Follow me on Instagram, MEAQ, MEAQ, TOMB, Instagram, and make sure that y'all tune into me and my homie Kay Adams show that we're releasing. It's gonna be much less quality.
Cut it out.
Don't do that. Don't do
Don't
that.
support it regardless.
Right, it's called the Boyfriends podcast.
Cute.
Oh, that's
Cute
fun.
as hell. Ugly ass
Somebody we cute as hell.
Ugly ass boy.
Shout out to Kay
Yeah,
Adams.
no, don't do that.
I love that. No,
No,
yes.
don't do that.
She calls you Kay Adams.
That's
Ugly ass boy.
your friend. That's your friend. I love that. Yes, please make sure that you do that, listeners, watchers, everybody, and of course, do everything that you've always done for us here at Away with Words, the podcast. Where did you say where they can find your personal page? What is your personal at?
I'm not gonna do my personal.
Oh, period.
I'll do it. It's
No, I mean it's up to you.
no,
It's
cool.
up to you.
It's just it's Hoochie Dad.
Oh,
if y'all
right.
Follow me
Yes.
personally. It's Hoochie Dad. I'm a father as well.
Yeah.
Gang gang.
Parents.
You talk about yay.
My personal, I mostly do Instagram. MEAQ TOMB Meek Tune.
Period.
Gotcha.
Love that. And make sure that you're following us where we can be followed at Away with Words the Podcast on TikTok and at Away with Words the Podcast on Instagram. You can follow me there at Bree.stories and at Bree_stories on TwitTwat.
Some of them
And
are nice.
at A Tati on Instagram and at Hey Tati on TwitTwat. And you know better by now. You need to be following at MJM Kid and at Moments_Stu because, come on, y'all. Do it.
Come on now.
We love y'all so much. We'll talk to y'all next week. Everybody say bye.
Bye.